Hi guys, as I mentioned, here's a video featuring a challenge involving a few artistic styles. I apologize in advance for there being so few of them, but I might do a second part. Of all these drawings, this one is definitely my favorite. A while ago, I remembered this TV series and decided to give it another watch. It was very silly, but in a way that was right up my street. Although I realize that some people might find it tedious or not funny. Speaking of this lovely art, recreating the style was easier than I thought. I've also decided that I have a different OC for each style, simply because I can. This gentleman, Johnny, is one of the two main characters in my story. He's the more daft of the two, so this style suits him perfectly. He's also holding a huge peach because it's his favorite fruit. Just a little bit of trivia. I actually drew this before the challenge, but I thought I'd include it here as well. This is my second main character. Randall is the more emotionless, cerebral one of the two. Also, if you're wondering how they met, they ended up renting a house together by chance. You can also see he's wearing a lab coat. He's a scientist, a rather important bigwig at a scientific institution, and he lectures at various universities. As for his education, he's a neurobiologist and a quantum physicist. But actually, he does more work in the field of neurobiology. Speaking of the drawing, I'm actually quite proud of it. I didn't find it too difficult to recreate that style. If you're expecting me to say something about the Fairly OddParents, then in my humble opinion, the series was good right up until the seasons where the only new character was Poof. Go to hell, Chloe. This is the one I like the least. I mean, it doesn't look awful, but it doesn't match the style of the Amazing World of Gumball. I also tried opening the main 2D character style, as there are various styles available there too. But let's talk about more pleasant things. TAWOG is one of my two absolute favorite cartoons. It was technically ingenious, hilariously absurd, and at times profound, and I loved it. If anyone's curious, I haven't seen the sequel yet, but I'm planning to. As for who this OC is, it's Sophie, one of the two. There seem to be quite a few pairs in my lore, one of Johnny's friends. She's the sassy but friendly girl. I must admit that her look, especially her hair, suits this style. The first antagonist in my story, Kyle. They are a demi-boy, so I use the pronouns they, their. They are Randall's cousins. Their mothers are fraternal twins. They're the type who's always trying to pick someone up, but since I'm on the subject of slang, there's someone with W-riz. Ever since childhood, they had a love-hate relationship with Randall. But spoiler alert, they'll make up. That's how all the villains in my lore end up reforming. Getting back to the drawing, when it comes to capturing the artistic style, this one is definitely the closest, which I'm proud of. I have to admit that one of the things that brings back the most nostalgia for me is actually Martha Speaks. It was a really enjoyable, lovely cartoon. You know, you watch it and it immediately warms your heart. My favorite character was TD. Because he was funny and I could relate to him as that slightly dim, odd kid. I liked Caroline the least. Even though my own OC sort of fits that archetype, I really didn't like most of those sassy characters. Perhaps my autism has something to do with it, and she always struck me as that know-it-all, nosy type. I remember in one episode she made herself a singing note, where she'd recorded herself singing. Sophie isn't openly mean either, by any means. Well, that's it then. I won't keep you any longer. Bye. Ha! Got you. There's a bonus too. This is the second villain from my lore, Dr. Alexander Bondarenko. To start with, two interesting facts. There's a very similarly named actor from Ukraine, only his name is Alexander, and secondly, this character was originally going to be called James, as a nod to Monsters, Inc. But now I can't remember why I changed his name. He is Randall's rival in the scientific community, Jealous that someone younger is apparently more competent, Bondarenko, too, is known for his hypothesis that younger generations are biologically less intelligent. I wanted to recreate Flint's dad's look from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. It didn't quite work out, but I still like it. And that just as Tim still loved his son, so his son still loves his grandson. Right, that's the real end of this video. Bye bye.